Alright YouTube, welcome back to Around the Farm. I haven't had a video up recently because really I haven't gotten a dang thing done. As you can see, the 8 inches of snow or 9 inches of snow that we got is mostly melted, which is great because with melting snow comes this nice mud. But it's supposed to get almost up to 50 today, which is unheard of for, what is it, December 9th today. And so that's kind of frustrating, but it's supposed to get cold again this weekend and probably snow, and then hopefully we're done with this crap until winter is over. But I guess we'll find out. Plus, I was really having fun riding the snowmobile around, and it's kind of tough to do that when there's no snow. But the first problem I'm going to have to overcome here is this door should have definitely been put on the other direction. We're getting snow piling up in front of it, and then ice gets there, water gets in there and freezes, and it melts, and the door freezes shut, and I accidentally ripped the knob off of it the other day trying to get it open. And so the solution that I've come up with for this problem is we've got a lot of extra tin and extra wood and stuff like that, and so I'm just going to build a little awning that comes out, maybe this far right here. It's not going to be anything huge, and we'll just have to get a couple of treated 4x4s to drop in the ground, and we'll just make a little awning so that the snow can't fall right in front of the door there, and that'll be kind of nice. And then if it's raining in the summertime or whatever, we don't have to worry about water getting in under the door. But for now, we got to take the long haul around the building to get to the shop. Alright, so I've got a multitude of problems and a few solutions and a lot of work that needs to be done and not a lot of time. So the first problem is I've got to put something along the ends of those boards on the top plates there, because I'm going to be blowing insulation in for the roof, and I can't just blow it up there without anything blocking the edge, or the insulation will go past the wall and fall down in between the tin and the wall here. And so I'm going to cut thin strips of OSB like this, and I'll have to notch them out to go in between the trusses, and then that's probably kind of tough to visualize, but that'll be like a wall on top of the top plate of the wall, just a short little OSB wall to hold the insulation from falling over the edge of that stud frame. And then it'll be easy on this side. I just have to put them on the outsides of those trusses, and then along the back as well. And then up front here, I'm gonna have to spray foam where the ribs of the tin meet that eave strut right there. I got to spray foam up there, and we got to figure out how to pack some other insulation into places up there so that we don't have heat loss right there. So that's a pretty minor thing. It's just one of those things that needs to get done before I can really start putting the roof up, because at least on this side right here, because once there's tin there, it's gonna be tough to get up there and do that. I could probably get up there and climb across the trusses, but I don't feel like chancing to fall through the roof, so we probably won't do that. But that's one of the next things I'm going to work on here. As you can see, I started with the garage door, and it's been fairly frustrating so far. Just things that aren't necessarily lining up the way they did when we took it apart. But I guess we'll overcome that. And I've got a good grasp on getting the rail up there. This one pretty much just needs the hanger on that end. This one's got a few alignment things I got to do with it yet, but the rail will go up nicely. Getting the door panels up, however, isn't going to be so easy, because when we took it down, we left the bottom one in, and we just took a panel out, and then we lowered the whole thing down and took a panel out and lowered the whole thing down. Now I'd like to put it back together the same way. I'd like to put the top panel in first, raise it up, put the next panel in, raise it up, but that's not going to happen because the door on the old building that we took this out of didn't fit quite so tight in between this 2x4 and the track. And so the problem I'm having with that is, in order to put the top one in, the hinges are different. This is like a number 1 hinge, I think, and the hinge that I need to put in there for the top one is a number 7 hinge. What that means is this part right here is longer, and the wheel sticks further back this way. Well, that pushes the door into the wood, and then the wheel doesn't fit in the track. And so I'll have to put them up as they are. So I'll have to put the next panel on and then the next one on top of that, which won't be a huge problem until we get up too far where the skid loader can't reach. Then I'll have to figure out how in the world I'm going to get, it may just be that last panel that's going to be a problem, but I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to get that up there. This would be 100 times easier if I had something with pallet forks, but I don't. So I'm either going to have to build some pallet forks that'll bolt onto the bucket, or we'll have to get some from somewhere, rent a forklift or something like that. But I guess we'll see what happens when the time comes. The next major problem we're going to have, and this one I haven't really come up with a solution for, is if you can see that pulley up there, that's where the cable runs on, and the drum that the cable goes on for the springs has to be on the right side of that garage door track. Now I don't know if you can see how big of an area that is, but it is not as big as this drum. And so we're gonna have to probably do some cutting and some who knows what to get this drum to fit. And then we're gonna have the same problem on this side. Once again, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but the drum will fit just fine on this side, but that's the side that the chain hoist goes on. And so on that side, we've also got that sprocket right there. And now that sprocket can be shoved over a little bit further if I can get it knocked loose on that rod, which that may be a chore in itself. But so that may be doable, but then we have to fit that hoist in between the track and the pier for the rafter over here. If you can see where those holes are up there, there's 4 round holes, and I don't think it's gonna fit. So we can slide it over some, but then the chain's not gonna line up right, and so that's gonna have to be addressed. But basically I just want to get the door up first. We'll get the stuff in place, and then we'll just do what we got to do to figure it out. I mean, that's kind of how we've been doing the whole project, so why stop now, right? But it's nice to see some of the door going in. It would just be nice to see it all in. But what I'm trying to decide right now is if I want to put the roof on before I mount the track for the door to the truss. Originally, I was just going to hang a straight piece down and just bolt that right up to the truss, but I kind of want to triangulate it like you'd see in most residential garage door applications, just because that'll keep it from swaying side to side a little bit. And so then that is going to take up more space, and it'd be a lot harder to cut the tin around it. Plus, when I'm putting the plastic up, it's going to be in the way when I'm putting the plastic up. So I'm thinking that I'm going to put the tin up at least to that point first, which isn't going to be a huge deal because when the rails are bolted onto the flag plate up there, that's what the piece up at the top is called, they don't need to be supported on this end. It probably puts a lot of stress on that end, but it doesn't all collapse and come crashing down. And so I can leave them there long enough to get the tin up in that spot. I won't obviously do that until I have the tin up down there, but I'll be able to get that taken care of, and then once the tin is up, I'll feel more comfortable putting the hangers up, and it'll just be a lot easier. So then once I get that far with the tin, I'll probably stop with the tin, and then we'll go back to putting the garage door up, because we're going to have problems on this end with the tin. Basically, at the height it is at the bottom of those floor trusses is going to be like below the springs where the header is at. And so I don't know if we're going to take a sharp upward turn or if I'm going to enclose the springs in the tin and then just drill holes for the cable to go through. I don't really know what the right way to do it is yet, but we'll figure something out. Another wonderful problem I had the other day was I had a flat tire on the skid loader. So we got 2 new tires on it now. We should have probably just done all 4, but I'm sure we'll have to do the front ones pretty soon. So I'm not a big fan of the new tires. They're not as wide and as meaty as the old tires were. These are a Goodyear. It's a 10/16.5, but it's a super wide, I think they call it, or super single or something. So it's got a wider tread pattern, as you can see, but still not a bad tire. And the extra tread has definitely been nice compared to what the old tires were. So I should probably get the front ones changed here pretty soon, because It's a little bit smaller diameter too, even though it's the same number tire. And inside there, it's driven by a chain. And so if you got one tire bigger, one tire smaller, they're both driven on the same chain, it could have a tendency to stretch the chain out. And so we don't want that happening. So when we start using it a whole bunch here this spring, we'll probably just get the front tires switched out too. And I don't know, maybe keep them as a spare, even though they're not worth a whole lot. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. I've got a small project I'm going to finish up today. And then I got some other stuff I got to take care of. So we're kind of making slow progress. I got a final I got to go up to college for tomorrow. So that's going to wipe out tomorrow, and hopefully Friday we can get a lot of stuff done. But I'm going to put this board on this outside of the beam here. And then what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to finish this corner off with tin. And then when we get to this board, we'll finish it to here with tin. And then we'll obviously have to have a piece of trim here that's got the rubber sealant for the garage door. But we'll be able to finish this with tin, so you won't see this ugly beam. Sorry, I didn't have my camera pointed at what I was trying to tell you. But there'll be tin that goes from right here to right here. It'll cover up this ugly beam. It'll be all nice and tinned. And then we will do the same thing on this side when we get to that point. But the reason I got to get it done on this side is so that we can get the rest of the insulation and stuff put back up there. And once that's closed off, I don't have to worry about the wind getting in behind there and ripping that insulation off. So we'll get that done today. I don't think we'll put any insulation up or anything quite yet, because I've actually been finding it kind of nice to be able to stand on top of the header of that door and work on the garage door stuff. But I also might be done working on that side, so we'll see. But yeah, that's where we're at. If I get anything actually done today, maybe I'll give you a little bit of an update. But it's real nice to have all the power down here. Like you said, I don't remember if that was done in the last episode or not, but I've got all the outlets on this side wired in. Everything's hooked up. I got my bench grinder, I got my drill press, I got my chop saw. It's great. I can do what I need to do. I can weld if I need to weld. When I put that bracket up there, I had to tack weld it into place before I could blow the holes, because it was just too heavy to try and hold up there and do both. And so it's just real nice to be able to have the welder down here and do that. We get the air hose reel put in. I don't have it plumbed yet. And we got a few more things moved down here. I still have to get the bolt bins moved down. The bolt bins are going to go on this wall right here. And then I had a lead on a couch, and I kind of haven't had time to look into it a whole lot more, but had a lead on a couch to put in the corner there. And so we're making progress. But yeah, like I said, it's just nice to be able to run all the tools down here now, and we don't have to worry about voltage drop and all that crap. So it's been real nice. Also thought I'd show you guys, we got a few more empty holes in here filled. We were able to get this trailer in, and my brother got his 706 rebuilt, so that's in here now. We've still got a few little spaces here and there where if we had to pack something else into it, we certainly could. But she's getting pretty full now. And, you know, honestly, it's one of those deals where if we had something more important, we'd certainly be able to take a trailer or two out and put it in there instead of a trailer. But, you know, for right now, we got all this extra room, so we might as well put the trailers in. And it'll be nice because, you know, some of the stuff like this hay bind here stays over at our alfalfa field all summer long, and so that'll take out a big chunk of space, and we usually keep a baler over there, and so we'll have a lot more room in here in the summertime, and so we'll be able to just park whatever we want in here basically. You know, even if somebody wants to park a vehicle in here or something that they're not driving or whatever. But got the four-wheeler in a little nook there. I got all my garage door stuff unloaded off the trailer, which was nice, so I don't have to drag that out anymore. And I even have room to drive my snowmobile in here when I'm done driving it for the day. Obviously that little hole right there is where the skid loader goes. But I got some corn in my gravity wagon now. I had to fill a smaller bin, and so I got some extra in there. So once we get the heater hooked up, I've got some fuel for my corn furnace. And yeah, things are going, but they're just going slow. So I'm gonna get to work here, and hopefully I got some updates for you. Alright guys, so I guess I really didn't get a whole lot done, but I did get this board mounted up there. And I found a piece of tin that is the right width, thank God, because I really didn't feel like cutting one. But I also got cats coming out of my walls. But we'll get this piece of tin up next time, I guess. I can't find my tin snips. I'm guessing it's up in the garage in my other toolbox. So I'll track that stuff down. But right now I gotta go get myself some lunch, and then you know, this has been kind of a negative episode. It's pretty much everything that's been going wrong, and so I figured I'd give you a little bit of positive information. For those of you that don't know, I'm getting married here in April, and my fiance and I are going into Sioux Falls today, into the big city, and we're going to do some gift registering, which is something that I, you know, wasn't all that fired up about, but it'll be kind of fun going around with their little gun thingy and scanning a bunch of stuff. But what I am excited about is I got the okay to go ahead, and one of the places we're going to register is Sears, and I got the okay to click some tools into the whole system. So that'll be nice. Guys out there, if you find a woman someday that will let you register for tools for your wedding, you have found a keeper. And so I'm excited about that. And we got some studying to do for some final exams, so I probably won't make it back out yet today. One other exciting bit of information is if I get this video up today, which is December 9th, tomorrow is my birthday. So, you know, that only happens once a year, so that's pretty exciting. And yeah, that's what we're going to call it today. So make sure you leave a like, share, and subscribe, and check back for more. Thanks.